You have to try this move against the Italian f5. But why? First of all, Italian is the most played opening ever. Almost 3 billion times, I'm not sure, too many times. Yeah, the most played opening. So, f5 is not well known. There is knight f6 and there is bishop e7 and there is bishop c5 and there are too many stuff. Which means your opponent will be ready there. This is the first idea. The first idea, we will get our opponent unprepared. Most of. Second idea is that here I prepared 5 most played move for white. Castling, take the pawn, d3, d4, knight c3. Only one move is best. Only other move is good. The 3 other moves are bad. 2 are blunders and they played frequently, and 1 is a mistake. Enough talking, yeah? Enough talking. Let's get into action. First of all, knight c3 played more than 300,000 times, and it's a blunder. Black is already winning after that. Why? Because we take on e4, you take back with the knight, we go d5. Actually, guys, this is a very interesting and it's strategically dangerous, but it has its foundation. What's the foundation of f5? It's similar to the queen's gambit if you think about it, or king's gambit or whatever. But it's kind of better version of a king's gambit. Why? Because this bishop is already here, like in the king's gambit. Okay, let me just explain because this is very important, yeah? In the king's gambit after e4, e5, e takes f4. This is actually a very good move, e takes f4. Why? Because here, whenever you go d4, you're not gaining that with Timby. And I have ideas like queen h4 check, for example. Yeah, my bishop is not on c5. So we make use of the move order or of the moves that played over the board, and we go f5. And now after f5, we mentioned that knight c3 did not solve the problem. As my threat, I have a strategical threat now. You cannot play a normal move because I am threatening to take and go d5 or to take and go knight f6 followed by d5. And if I manage to do so, I am almost winning or have a great advantage. So first move is bad and it's played frequently. And after f5, there is another move that is frequently played, which is castling, which is again bad. This is a blunder, guys. And it's played more than 151k times. 151,000 times. F takes e4. Black is just winning. Why? Because knight e1 and again d5. This bishop is great. I have the center. This bishop is going to improve. Knight f6 and position is wow. Position is super nice. Okay, that's why we need to try this, yeah? Let's go back and now let's talk about the most played move. Almost more than 2 million times or around only on chess. We are not counting chess.com. E takes f5. What a bad move. Now after e takes f5, we simply go e4. We kick this knight away, and what's interesting about it, the knight can't go here thanks to the queen, can't go here thanks to the knight, but it can go back to g1. Here I prepared 3 moves as it's the most played move, so you have a better chance, or there is a better chance that you will face it most likely, yeah? So after e4, we're attacking the knight. You go back, this is probably the most played move. There's this tricky move, knight d4. Most likely your opponent will be mistakenly played this. But here we can't take, unfortunately, the knight because of this check. Like queen h5 is annoying, very annoying, yeah? And if g6, then f takes g6, I cannot take with a pawn. Maybe queen takes h8. I don't want to enter these complications. So after knight d4, I simply go knight f6. Stopping queen h5, threatening the knight, d5 is coming as well. You take, I take back with the pawn. Next, I go d5. Whatever you play, I go d5. I pick up the pawn. I played bishop d6. I castle short. I am completely fine. I have a great development. I have the center. I have everything. Black is clearly better. Good. So what else about e4? There is this. I might hear you saying, what? But wait, there is queen e2. This is almost played, guys, 400,000 times, and it's losing. Black is clearly better after queen e7. Getting rid of the pin, now renewing the threat, and the knight has no square actually. d4 I can take it, g5 I can take it. Now d4 I can take it as queen h5, at least I have king d8 if I don't want to enter any complications or calculate anything. So after knight g1 again, you knew the idea, either I go d5 right away, but now I cannot because he will take with the bishop. I go knight f6, and now d5 is coming, knight d4 is coming, everything is coming. This sign means clearly better, almost more than -1 for black in the opening, and white is suffering because the development is bad. Okay, so last move for the most played one, which is knight g1, already looks wrong. Yeah, question, can I go d5? Yes. If you forget, d5 is the best move, but if you forget, you could easily play knight f6 followed by d5, played it safe. Yeah, but here you can trick your opponent and attract him or her to play this useless check. You win that tempi, yeah? You thought I cannot go g6 because you take back, and then there is a problem with the simply king e7. Brilliant move, as it's unexpected. Now the bishop is under fire. You move the bishop away. Thanks, knight f6. Give me the queen. And bishop takes f5 is coming. You don't want to give the pawn. I will take the pawn. It's not up to you anymore, bro. Bro, now you're just watching what I'm doing. You cannot decide anything. Now give me the pawn back. So d3, I will get the pawn back. And after queen e3, simply I grab the bishop pair and go king f7. And this is a great position for black. The bishop will go out soon. The rook will be coming to the game, and then king g8. And we'll have a great game, as rook e8 will be coming with tempi thanks to these two guys on the same line. Yeah. Wow. So what we have talked about, you have a big chance, big chance to face it over the board. Yeah. I mean, on your games. Yeah. Either over the board or online. Most likely online. Yeah. Because that the statistics that we talked about, it's about online chess. But I might hear you now asking, but wait a second, I am Italian player as white. So what should I do? Subscribe. So in the near future, I will make a video how to play against all the weird stuff against the Italian. So I promise, that's a promise. Just subscribe and wait. Are we done with this video? Not yet. After bishop c4, f5, we are done with knight c3, we are done with castling, we are done with e takes f5. Now, not the best move, which is d4. And by the way, I am preparing a queen sacrifice against this, which is going, I mean, you're gonna like it. So the safest move, which is d3, like, I don't want to lose my pawn, I don't want to decide. If you take, I take back. Knight f6, I am attacking, give me the pawn. And now again, you cannot take it. Why? Because of d5. I have the center. I have a better development. Bishop d6 is coming, castling, bishop takes f5. Great position. So, after d3, let's go back. So you cannot take e takes f5, but I'm threatening the pawn. So most likely knight c3, and it's the most played move. Again, I am threatening. Bishop b4, pinning the knight. Bishop d2. Wait a second, I don't like my position as black because I don't want to, I cannot castle now. And my opponent is understanding that he's showing that he will not take. So I will never get d5, yes. But I have another great idea now. I will take pawn takes pawn, you take back with the pawn, and now d6. The point of d6 is that I wanted to go bishop g4, threatening knight d4, and queen e7 with long castling, and we'll use the f file with the help of the bishop in order to attack this knight actually, and in order to attack the king as well. So after bishop g4, one of the solution for white is to play h3 or a3, sorry. I take, you take back, and now queen e7. Believe it or not, this position is slightly better for black, and I would say it's clearly better for black. Why? Because black has clear moves, clear plans. I will go castling long. then bring the rook to the f file, start pushing my g and h pawn. Very clear, very effective, very dangerous. While if you're white, what can you do? It's not clear. Like if you ask me, what's your recommendation here as white? My recommendation is already done. I will recommend you not to enter these complications at all, because this is not practical chess, yeah? Great. So that's for d3. Now, the last and the best move for white, which is d4. Actually, what's interesting about this being the best move, it requires encouragement for white to play, yeah? That's why it's not the most played move, because it seems like, why do I need to play d4? I am white and black played f5. He should not be allowed to do that. I can play simple chess like d3. Second of all, this is the first idea and the first explanation. The second explanation, guys, who's playing the Italian most likely is looking for a quiet game. Why is that? Let me explain an idea. It's considered to be the main idea in the Italian opening, which is this. Knight f6, you go d3, and say, for example, bishop c5, you castle, and after d6, c3, and after castling as well, you go knight bd2, and after bishop g4, there's this famous plan. h3, bishop h5, you move the rook away, for example, a6, bishop b3, whatever, rook e8, you move this knight to f1, followed by knight g3, whatever, knight g3 attacking the bishop, followed by this idea of knight h4. And then put a knight on f5, either this or that, bring the queen to the game, maybe bishop g5, here or there or here, and slowly build the position. Slowly. You're not looking for a very aggressive opening, though there is some gambits there, but this is the main philosophy behind the Italian gambit. So whenever you go f5, white's mentality said, am I forced to go d4 and crush everything, destroy everything, make it a very unstable game? No, I will go d3. That's why d4 is not the most played move. Anyways, we take f takes e4. This is another idea, because we are taking. You take back, and thanks for the center, we go d5. And after d5 now, bishop b5 is the best move, and he's threatening to take here. We simply go queen d6. One of the ideas of queen d6, we are preparing two things. First of all, we might castle long. This is an option. And another option, we are setting a trap, because it's most likely white will go bishop f4. Very logical move. So the bishop will attack the queen. We go a6, getting rid of the bishop. If the bishop did not take on c6, I will simply improve the bishop and castle long. Clear. So most likely he will take. I will take back. He will castle. Saying that long castling is no longer an option, because the queen side is weakened, and the knight cannot be improved because of knight g6. But guess what? We will sacrifice the queen. Knight f6. Wait, this is a blunder. Knight f6? What's that? There is knight g6. Yeah, this is our trap. We will allow this. Knight g6, the bishop is protected now, and the rook is under fire. But we will sacrifice the queen. For what? For two pieces. What the computer says here, after bishop takes d6, computer says it's slightly better for white. Imagine, only slightly better. You're sacrificing the queen for two pieces, but slightly better. And practically, it's better for black. Why? Because black has the initiative, black has the attack, black has a safer king right now, and white has to be super accurate not to lose the game on the spot. For example, g3, defending against bishop g2, knight g4, attacking one more time. h4 has to be played, and now g5, super aggressive. You take that guy, I go simply bishop f5, because if you did not take, then what can you do? I am planning to take and winning more pawns and open things up. So you take, hoping for whatever. We go simply bishop f5. And after knight d2, black has a winning position after a very nice move, king d7. And simply, I will go rook h3, rook h8, check, checkmate. How to stop that? It's up to white to discover. It's not easy. Whenever you go king g2, rook h2, check, and it's super annoying. By the way, if the knight is not here, for example, if knight c3 or knight whatever, then always there's this idea, very killing idea, knight h2. Attacking the rook and threatening knight f3 followed by rook h2, checkmate. What a position. Oi, 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 oi. So that's it. That's the queen sacrifice, and that's the best line for white. So we even managed to trick him or her there. I hope your fight against the Italian is no longer annoying. So you're doing great. So as far as we're reaching the end of the video, don't forget to discover or to search, look for our videos. We recently talked about the French defense as black. You can pick that up. You can now play against e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. If you're interested, we can create something about against Troy Lopez as well, something like very aggressive, and if white is not well prepared, he will lose on the spot. We will do that. If you are interested, write me in the comments whatever you would like to see. Again, thanks for watching, thanks for your support, and we'll see you in another one.